Finally, Daniel Mack. It's been a long time coming. I knew it from just the basis of his entire what he's built his whole career on, that this had to finally happen. And I didn't even want to look in the comments because I already knew that they're going to be, against the girls or for Daniel Mack or for the girls. You know what I mean? There's just going to be contention all around. And I'm here to just break that ice and just say, and that's why I've waited so long. I've waited for it to just not even be a thing, not even be relevant, for it to be completely off people's radars, because I don't like coming in on the cloud of things. I don't like coming in on the front end of most stuff unless it's something that I really am passionate about, or it's something that I have a vested interest in and that relates to me personally. This only relates to me on the fact of, like, I am a car enthusiast. I am somebody who loves cars. I love car culture, and I get why Daniel Mack does what he does. He's gone on to be able to meet people I'll never meet, go places I'll never go, do things I'll never do, just ride on yachts, go into houses and cars and all these kinds of things, premieres of vehicles that I'll never ever be a part of. They're one, they're done, and they're gone. And I am proud of him for that. Incredible. Off of a question, he was able to do these things. Off of one question, what do you do for a living? From a question and a cell phone, he was able to go ahead and do this. But because of that, because of just the lunacy of what it means to be able to do what he's doing, I knew there had to be 90% of his videos had to be exactly what's going on in this scenario, where these girls are, first of all, let's, from the beginning of the video, let's take it from bottom to top, from top to bottom. Okay, number one, he comes up and he presents his question. Hey, there's a nice car. What do you guys do for a living?
Yeah, excuse me. Hi, your car is awesome. What do you do for a living?
And immediately, they're taken aback, because in our day and age, our culture, we are not, especially in people of Daniel Mack's era and these girls of their era, you're just like, we're not used to people interacting with us directly. That's why we have social media, so we can indirectly react to people, so we can indirectly be related to something going on, so we can have a parasocial relationship to what's happening in the world around us, so that we don't actually have to participate in that world. We can just do it from the comfort of how much we want to intake or how much we don't. So number one, these girls are abashed primarily, and of course, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be somebody? Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, what do you do for a living? And it's just a white dude with a camera. Like, nobody wants that. If I got that, I wouldn't have handled it the way that they did. But I also wouldn't have been immediately comfortable with it. It's not my first instinct to be so comfortable. Maybe that's his desire, but if it is, then he's no different than the pranksters that are all going into Walmart, throwing gallons of milk on the ground and wondering why they're getting kicked out and just laughing about it. They're taken aback, and they're just like, is this what you do? You just run up on people with cameras and you just, who didn't even ask to be filmed? And it's like, first of all, why didn't you ask that? What, if that's something you maybe do at the end, like, hey, can I post this video? It's like, okay, cool. But obviously they already have an immediate aversion to whatever it is you're doing. So present your case. Hey, this is what I do for a living. Like, I'm just, I'm a guy on social media, and I go up and I ask people what they do for a living. Hey, if that's not comfortable for you, no problem. Like, I'll keep moving. Sorry to interrupt your day. Keep it stepping. But he knew, he had to know that there was more to this nugget of information. There was more to be had from these young ladies. He knew that if I just not state my case, but if I just say what I'm doing, yeah, I'm filming, that's just what he kept doing, just reiterating, yeah, I'm filming, I'm just, I fill people with cool cars, you got a cool car.
Just asking a question. I just like your car.
Obviously, you do know if you do this all the time.
It's what my whole account is, but
Your whole account is shoving your phone in people's faces.
And it's like, yeah, but you're not giving them enough information. You're giving half truths, which for any woman who is aware of their surroundings, any woman who knows that it's like, I need all of the information so that I can see how to handle this, because number one, I'm a young lady. Number two, I'm two young ladies, and we are in a noticeable vehicle, and we don't want to attract unwanted attention. In the same way that if a woman dresses a certain way or does a certain thing, it's like they don't want unwanted attention. Whether they believe that they're gonna not attract it or not, it's like, either way, guess what? If they dress like that, if they drove in that, doesn't mean that they want you walking up to them. The same reason if there was a guy who wanted to hit on them or whatever. It's the same thing. It's like, hey, buddy, like, we're not here for that. We're out shopping. Let's just relax. The only thing I disagree with these young ladies is just to the degree of angry that they presented themselves. I would just say that taking it to that level, you know, I do believe there was something that they wanted to, like, we're gonna call the police, or, you know, hey, you're not supposed to be filming this, you're not supposed to be filming this. I agree. But I mean, at that point, young ladies, like, just drive away. It's okay to drive away.
Why? Oh my gosh.
It's okay to just be like, yeah, like, hey, buddy, we didn't give you permission. Please delete that. We're gonna go about our business. You know, simple as that. Unfortunately, they did engage with Daniel Mack, but again, I don't blame them for engaging because he 100% knew what he was doing. Daniel Mack, you knew what you were doing. You knew that you were baiting them. You knew that if you continue to speak and have truths, if you continue to just say basically what you were doing instead of answering their questions, like, is this what you do? Like, even though we're just girls and like we didn't ask you to come up to us, we didn't ask to be filmed, you didn't get our explicit permission, which is vitally important, and just saying that this is a public space. Guess what? Who cares? It's their public image. You know, if somebody doesn't have the desire to be filmed, then don't film them. Like, if anyone presents that to me, they're just like, hey, I don't want to be filmed. Guess what? I'm striking all that from the record. If nobody presents that to me, or if I don't present that to somebody, that's left up to interpretation. But if they're explicitly asking you, did we give you permission to film us, or explicitly telling you, don't film us, then don't film them, dude. Like, are you serious? Like,
Jesus, dude. LA is wild.
and I knew this had to come. I knew. And I have to know, like, there has to be, Daniel, there has to be dozens of other videos that you didn't post that were just like this one, because the same people were just wondering, they just wanted an answer to the question. They were more bewildered than anything. They weren't even upset initially. I think that, yes, they came off that way. Yes, they came out, and, you know, I believe that the girl in the passenger seat, like, maybe she must have been, you know, distracted by something else, whatever it is. We could all make wild accusations, but they definitely were frazzled, you know, and I think that they were a little bit more upset than what a normal person would have been. You don't know what was going on in their day. And not saying that, I don't know what was going on in their day. I don't know what they were going through. I don't know what possibly could have been. You know, God forbid they just got, you know, I don't know, some other dude just came up to them with an iPhone and just said, hey, you ladies are hot. You want to be on my video? Like, you know, God knows, because I know even just this women that are in a Toyota Corolla get it bad. You know, imagine a girl in a drop top Porsche. Sorry, not BMW. Imagine a girl in a drop top Porsche and the amount of unwanted attention she gets. And again, it does not matter if they're dressed this way, riding that way, doing this way. It's like, if you're a decent person, if you're somebody, whether you think that they're like, oh, well, they just wanted attention, they wanted a guy that they're doing it because they want our attention, that very well may be, but guess what? That's not for you to determine. And if somebody's already having a problem with you filming them, just film someone else. There's no shortage of luxury vehicles in the place that you're at. I'm certain. So, you know, I just thought that this had to be, I'm just glad it finally, he had the guts to post it. But I'm really surprised that he did, because it really shows how much just of a kind of a dick like Daniel Mack can be for no reason. Oh, hi, how'd it go?